Here's a list of all the national rankings. Overland Park is one of the most popular cities that you could live around the Kansas City metro. It is a principal city. It's not quite a suburb anymore. It's grown to be quite larger than that. And as a result, you've got the booming economy, the good schools, the low crime, the really high rankings for a place to buy a home, and everything else. We're going to go more in depth on this video, so let's get started. Number one reason that you should live in Overland Park is the outdoor activities. There are so many. There's a ton of green space. There are over 83 parks in Overland Park. Here's a map of all of the parks that you'll find on your screen now, and this doesn't even scratch the surface. One of the most popular ones is Heritage Park. It is huge, over 12,000 acres. The lake is 40 acres. You've got a 30-acre dog park, an 18-hole disc golf course. You've got softball fields, football fields, soccer fields, a public 18-hole championship golf course, and a driving range. It is huge. No matter what you want to do, what kind of park you're looking for, you're going to be in short walking distance to one or short driving distance. And if you want to attend or go to the bigger parks, this is where I think you'll find yourself. You've also got the Arboretum and the Botanical Gardens, which is just beautiful. You should absolutely visit it. Even if you don't live in Overland Park and you're just visiting for a weekend, that is a place to be. Now, of course, last but not least, you've got the Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex. Outdoor activities, soccer is one of them, especially in Kansas City, which has slowly risen to be one of the soccer capitals of the entire United States. The Shields Soccer Park is huge. There are so many fields, and it is busy almost every day during the spring, summer, and fall, and sometimes even the winter. Number two is the shops. There are two large places that you can go to shop at, although Overland Park is littered with many local businesses as well as, local franchises and then big national chain stores. One is the Oak Park Shopping Mall. It is huge. There are so many places that you could go in here. We'll mention a couple of them later on in this list, and you can see the map of all the shops and restaurants that you can go to and the places for entertainment as well. The second is Prairie Fire. Now, Prairie Fire is sort of a recent development. It's over the last few years really blossomed and taken off. It's out by 135th Street. Here's a map of exactly where it is and kind of what it looks like. We're going to go down one by one since this is a little newer. You might not know about it. So here is a list of all of the restaurants that you can expect to see there. Here's a list of all of the shops that you can expect to see there. And of course, last but not least, here's everything you can do for entertainment at Prairie Fire. Reason number three is local businesses. This has grown in importance, I think, to pretty much everybody across the United States, regardless if you live in Kansas or not, supporting local businesses, right? It helps the economy. It comes back to you in more ways than you can measure. Well, Overland Park does a really good job of stimulating demand and supporting local businesses with local life. Every third Friday in downtown Overland Park, these local businesses will keep their doors open a little bit later. So maybe if you can't attend them or visit them during the week, during normal operations, you can take some time on the weekends with your friends and family to discover everything that they have to offer. By the way, if you're new to the channel, then welcome. My name's Nick Massa, and I help people buy and sell homes in the Kansas City area, even if they're relocating and moving to Kansas City for the first time. So hopefully this video is a resource for you, gives you some idea of if Overland Park is the right one for you or not. Hit the subscribe button to see all future videos so you don't miss any, and of course hit the like button if you find it valuable. If you are moving to Overland Park or the Kansas City area, I'd love to help. Let's see if we make a good fit. All my contact info is below. Send me a text, email, or let's schedule a Zoom call. We can talk about exactly what it would look like for you. Number four is the Overland Park Farmers Market. The Farmers Market has been operating for about 40 years. What you're getting is some of the best local vendors in the area bringing you their best products on Saturdays in the spring, and usually it goes from 7:30 to 1 p.m. So a great opportunity. And then in the summer months, as it gets a little bit warmer, so expect sometime in June, they'll start to open their doors on Wednesdays as well. So you've got two different options, and then that goes through the remainder of this summer. Number five, you've got some of the best school districts in the entire state of Kansas. Here's a map of all of the different school districts that you can expect to find that serve Overland Park. Some kind of serve the bordering areas of Overland Park. The main one, though, is Blue Valley, which is the #1 school district in the entire state of Kansas. Now, second to Blue Valley, you've got Shawnee Mission School District, which serves the northern part of Overland Park. Very, very highly rated as well. You really can't go wrong. If you are moving there and you've got kids that are going to be in school, I would talk to the different parents who have kids in that school district. I would read all the reviews to make sure you're going to the best one that suits you and your family's needs. Number 6 is the commute. Here's a map of how long it would take to get from North Overland Park all the way to downtown Kansas City. But really, even if you find yourself very, very far south in Overland Park, as south as, Heritage Park, like we talked about in the beginning, you're still only about 30 minutes away from most places that you would find yourself going or wanting to go in the Kansas City metro. If you wanted to go to the Chiefs game, it might take you a little bit longer, but really around 30 minutes, and you're getting pretty much anywhere you'd like to go. Number 7 is the low crime. One of the lowest places for crime in the entire Kansas City metro area. Here's a graph that compares Overland Park to crime in Kansas City to crime in the entire United States. You'll notice that Kansas City, as you can imagine, is way higher than the baseline for the United States, but you'll also notice that Overland Park is measurably lower on both violent and non-violent or property crimes than the United States. Part of that wraps into number 8, which is the slightly higher taxes. Might just be worth it in Overland Park, or certainly worth it in Overland Park. I'm not a huge fan of paying taxes. I don't think anybody is, but the difference is you're going to be paying slightly higher taxes than you would if you lived in, Kansas City, Missouri, but you're getting the good schools that we talked about. You're getting really, really well-maintained streets, free of potholes, good landscaping around them. And of course, you've got the police that are keeping the streets nice and safe for you and your family. Number 9 is the booming economy. Overland Park over the last few decades has come a long way, especially based on all the stuff that we've talked about so far. It's expanding dramatically. We mentioned the Botanical Gardens and Heritage Park. That area is riddled with some new development that we'll talk about in a second. Now, here's how their economy compares to Kansas City, Missouri, and the entire United States. You'll notice in several categories that Overland Park is outperforming those two, and I think that especially over the next decade or so, as the city continues to grow, it's currently on the map as a principal city as opposed to just a suburb. I think we're going to see these numbers and the lead that Overland Park has start to increase as well. Now, here's a list of all of the employers that you'll find in Overland Park. These are the top employers in the region, and this is part of why the economy is growing so quickly. Number 10 is the art. Now, and this is one of the things that most people don't know about the Kansas City metro area, is it is a hot spot for art. Whether you're consuming it or creating it, it is the place to be. So here's an example of all of the different places that you can go to see art and partake in the creation of it in Overland Park. Number 11 is new construction homes. If you've always wanted to build your own home or buy a home that's brand new that nobody else has lived in, Overland Park might just offer you the biggest selection for new construction homes in the entire Kansas City metro. And if it doesn't rank as number 1, it's certainly high on the list. And with all the other benefits like the schools, the outdoors, etc., it's easy to see why many people who are looking to build a new construction home would find themselves in Overland Park. Here's a map of all of the new homes for sale currently in Overland Park. You can see they're all over the place, so you're not just pigeonholed into one area, although you will notice that near Heritage Park, so the south part of Overland Park, is where you'll find them concentrated. And I'll link a playlist right here with all of the tours that I've done of new homes in Overland Park, so you can see if there's one that really stands out and catches your eye, or if there's a builder whose design you really, really like. Number 12 is all of the family-friendly activities, the activities for kids. Here's a picture of all of the things that you could do, and we're going to go down one by one. You've got the museum at Prairie Fire, Deanna Rose, you've got trails and biking paths. You can go to Build-A-Bear at the Oak Park Mall. There are several parks in the area, and yes, you've got Shields, which is a sporting goods store, but you've also got indoor attraction rides in there as well, including a Ferris wheel. You've got the Overland Park Arboretum, you've got iFly, Topgolf, and much, much more. That's only scratching the surface of what you can do in Overland Park. And this isn't stuff that's like, 30 minutes away. This is stuff that's like within 10 minutes of where you live, most places in Overland Park. Number 13, lucky number 13, and ironically, I'm filming this on Friday the 13th in January, even though you're seeing it at a later date. So if I just disappear or stop making videos, that's probably why. Number 13, you've got all 4 seasons. All 4 seasons is a big plus because I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're most likely moving from out of state or thinking about moving from out of state. You've got your fall, winter, spring, and summer. The winters here can get a little cold, but if you're from a colder climate, it's going to be nothing. If you're from a warmer climate, what you can expect is mostly between 20 and 30 degrees during the winter months, although this year seems to be an outlier. We've had some warmer weather. We had that big cold front that came across the entire United States, but Nothing crazy, not a ton of snow. It can vary year to year, but in the spring, you're looking at some humidity, some level of allergies, but the allergies can really get bad once you get to the fall, and all of the ragweed pollen, I think it is the ragweed pollen, is just in full bloom, and it is getting everybody's allergies going. And in the summer, you've got some level of humidity, but really the summers are really, really a nice place to be during the summer. So there you have it, the top 13 reasons why you should live in Overland Park, Kansas. Now, if you've watched all the way till the end, I'm guessing you're doing some research about relocating or moving to the best part of Kansas City for you. And for additional help with that or one-on-one support, especially if you're buying a home, I would love to help. I help people relocate to Kansas City and purchase a home in the area that fits them, and I'd love to do the same for you. All my contact info is below. Send me a text, email, or let's schedule a Zoom call. We can see if we're a good fit and talk about exactly what it would look like for you. I'll see you on the next video.